Division in the decimal system is kind of its own animal, whereas with the addition, subtraction, and multiplication, we will start with the smaller numbers and work our way up. We're actually going to start with the larger side and go from there. First of all, let's start with the largest one and see how many times our divisor goes into it. 7 does not go into 1 at all, so we'll move on. Let's take the first two digits together then. 1, 4, or 14. 7 goes into that twice. For a long division, we're going to keep track of these numbers below so we can find out, what's left over for the next number to deal with. So 2 times 7 is 14. We should have nothing carried over this time. 7 doesn't go into 3 at all, so again we put a 0. 0 times 7 is 0. 3 left over. 31. 7 goes into 31 4 times, right? And 7 goes into 35 5 times. Now, as for the decimal point, since we had a whole number as our divisor, the decimal point doesn't move at all and will come straight up where it was in the dividend. So our answer is 20.45, or 20 and 45 100ths. Next, let's consider a scenario in which our divisor also has a part to it, right? Wholes and parts. In this case, I usually keep track of things as though we had a divisor. That was a whole number. And let me explain. We have here a division, which is like a fraction, yes? So you could think of this as a 182.4 divided by 1.5. Now, if I were to multiply that in the numerator and denominator by 10, I'm not changing the value, and yet I would move the decimal over 1 for each of them, and look, now my divisor is a whole number, namely 15. So if that's confusing, you can leave that alone, but just know that there's a sound logic to this little algorithm here where we move the decimal over the same number of places in both of them so as to give ourselves a whole number divisor. 15 does not go into 1. 15 goes into 18, however, one time. 32 to deal with next. Twice. And 15 goes into 24 once. And last but not least, 15 goes in to 96 times. And since we moved our decimal place to the right in both of these, that keeps track of everything for us. We can once again just move our decimal straight into our answer.